report there as well.
So let's talk about your opinions with respect to this case. Have you formed an opinion to a reasonable degree of medical certainty on the cause of Mr. Floyd's death?
Yes, I have.
Would you please tell the jury what that opinion or opinions are?
Yes, Mr. Floyd died from a low level of oxygen, and this caused damage to his brain that we see, and it also caused a PEA arrhythmia that caused his heart to stop. The cause of the low level of oxygen was shallow breathing. Small breaths, small tidal volumes, shallow breaths that weren't able to carry the air through his lungs down to the essential areas of the lungs that get oxygen into the blood and get rid of the carbon dioxide. That's the alveoli at the bottom of the lung. The main forces that are going to lead to the shallow breath are going to be that he's turned prone on the street, that he has the handcuffs in place combined with the street, and then that he has a knee on his neck, and then that he has a knee on his back and on his side. All of these four forces are ultimately going to result in the low tidal volume, which gives you the shallow breaths that we saw here. And so the air will not be able to reach those air sacs we just saw in the video where the oxygen is exchanged and the carbon dioxide is removed.
Our first deputies arrived on the scene 8 minutes after that, those two 911 calls. It's a large area, and we began to assist the victims that we encountered. The first two victims, obviously, that we encountered were the two air conditioning techs who were outside the home in the driveway at their work vans. Then we immediately began to assemble a team to clear the house of Dr. Robert Leslie. Once we cleared the home, we found Dr. Robert Leslie and his wife Barbara and their two grandchildren in a room in the back of the house, all deceased with gunshot wounds. Once the investigation began, we were able to develop Philip Adams as a suspect in this incident. We also learned that Mr. Adams lived close to where this incident took place, just down the road, about a quarter of a mile. We were able later on in the evening to make contact with Mr. Adams' father, who lived with the suspect at the time. We were able to remove Mr. Adams and later Mrs. Adams from the home, as we had a search warrant for the home and for Philip Adams. At around 2:30 a.m., we confirmed that Mr. Philip Adams, that the suspect was deceased in a bedroom in the home.